Baby, lock them doors and turn the podcast on.
I'm certain we've done this one before.
It's itty bitty with the podcast song. I don't remember how the other words go. I just want to be your podcast.
Merry Mini Monday, Chunkies. I'm Carter.
I'm Justin Aaron, Big Tex Doge.
And I'm Jay Wonders, Jordan, the little guy wonders. That's a long nickname.
It's a tall name for such a little guy.
Tall name for such a little guy. It's kind of fun.
A small feller.
Kind of fun that we fell into these accents this morning because we're going to jump straight into in the news. You don't just jump into the news, you jump into in the news. Rian Johnson of Knives Out and many other movies fame announced several months ago that he was going to make Knives Out a series. Knives Out has been done on this podcast during our mystery series that we did, Mr. E. And it is...
I still can't believe that.
A phenomenal film. It's a lot of fun.
Really is.
It's going to be a series. It's going to be a trilogy, and we know that the one remaining player in that will be the detective, as is the case for many of these mystery series. We kind of reuse that detective, and I'm loving it. And so Benoit Blanc will be back. Daniel Craig. In the news, though, we had a new announcement as this cast begins to grow. Catherine Hahn of most recent MCU fame, Agatha. Now, here's the thing. Hopefully she's not the murderer because she's already done the whole like Agatha all along thing. So,
well,
Catherine
there's a lot of buzz over in Discord saying maybe she's actually Mephisto this time. Maybe she's for real Mephisto this time.
She's actually Mephisto.
It's Mephisto this time, yeah.
So Catherine Hahn joins of additional MCU fame. Dave Bautista was the announcement before that. And they make up 3 of the 5, the other 2 being Janelle Monáe and Ed Norton.
And so just Iron Man, just actual Iron Man.
Just actual Iron Man, yeah, because we've got the Hulk too. The not the OG Hulk. There's been many iterations of that. But in the theme of as Benoit would love, I'm sure. We've got some news inside of the news.
Ooh.
Dave Bautista recently came out saying that he, and I want y'all's opinion on this, he felt like Drax has been a missed opportunity in the MCU, saying that he felt like Gunn and those that were at the helm for the Guardians of the Galaxy series have not given enough of what is a really juicy backstory on Drax. Do y'all agree to an extent here?
I think Drax kind of got a little bit, what's it called? Jordan, you've talked to me about it before. Flanderized, where like basically you take a character's trait and exaggerate it till it becomes their whole personality. Lots of TV shows are pretty bad about this, but
yeah.
I don't know. I've been thinking about that a lot, actually, since I read him say that. I think the promise we make with Drax is that he is like the stoic guy from a warrior culture bent on revenge against Thanos. And then what we ultimately deliver in his subsequent appearances is kind of the one-note guy who doesn't understand stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we take that small facet of his character from Guardians 1 and have kind of expanded it. I don't know. It didn't bother me, but I'm also not Dave dying for great material.
His character.
Yeah.
No, I don't know, man. To me, it's like you can't expect to fully flesh out every single character. To me, I get just enough Drax every time he's on screen. Like he's not a character. I like Dave. Drax is kind of whatever to me.
Yeah.
And so like I get plenty of them. I'm good with the amount that I get. Now his backstory does seem interesting, but it would feel a little weird to like slowly start to revisit that.
Right.
To me,
I think
it sounds like Dave,
right?
Dave is campaigning to get a Drax spinoff.
Sure. And
which is fine.
Dave Bautista tends to be one who is in the news a lot for just speaking up about the movies that he's in.
Yeah, he talks a lot. I like him, by the way.
Yeah, I really do, too.
I'm not saying anything negative about him. I just
is making bukus of money. Because he's also in Dune, which is still coming out this year. He's kind of touching on a lot of these big series.
Y'all, I was totally shocked by him in Blade Runner.
Yeah.
That was like one of the first non-Drax, wrestling, I guess. Things
What's
that
his-
I've ever seen him in.
What's his character's name? Is it Sapper Morton?
That we just have at that beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
Yep.
great.
Yeah.
And now for a little bit of news inside of all the news, inside another news. As we talk about the MCU, we were talking about Emily Blunt last week because the world wants this wonderful actress to play Sue Storm.
Sure.
There had been some news come out, and it's tough to know what is real and what is not, and also what is a mirage, because the MCU in general, as just a production entity, does this thing to where they'll give us trailers sometimes that have scenes that aren't in the movies that we'll see after them. They're just there to make us get pumped up. And sometimes they'll just take us on rabbit trails for the sake of their production, which I'm all for. I'd rather you trick me than you just hand me an actual plot to things and tell me everything that's going on. But Emily Blunt supposedly has turned down that role, saying that she doesn't really like superhero movies. So I don't know if that's real or if it's not, but it keeps popping up. And so that makes me a little bit sad if that ends up happening.
I don't know if you can hear the crinkling of the tinfoil on top of my head. That sounds like a made up thing to throw us, because I don't know anybody.
Yeah, she also just made Jungle Cruise. So you're cool with movies about rides?
Right.
Okay.
I don't know
But you don't
anybody.
okay.
I mean, at this point, if Marvel approaches and you're like, I don't really like superheroes, what you're saying is like, I don't want a paycheck that much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm fine if that.
I don't want to
that-
be guaranteed A-list for the rest of my career.
Right.
I'm fine if that camp is solely Martin Scorsese. You can have it to yourself, man.
Yeah,
You're just
Martin,
mad.
That's you, buddy.
You're just mad. Even though I feel like you could probably make a good superhero movie. Whatever.
When I hear her say that, it's the Agatha winking meme.
Yeah. Right.
And just like when Marvel's like, I promise you, there's no other Spider-Mans in your next Spider-Man. And everybody's like, sure. All right. Yeah.
Yes.
I am stuck on Joe Pesci in a superhero movie.
Mm.
I'm in.
Because if Martin's directing,
Joe's in it.
Super fellas.
Super fellas. Okay, before this gets too bad, we're going to move on. Something happens every now and then.
as far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a hero.
Oh my gosh. In Mini Mondays and in the vibe of just prepping for this show and scripting for this show, these things happen every now and then that I just get a game idea. I say every now and then. It's like every other week. But something happened here. As I looked down at these names and I was doing research on these actors, names like tend to be basic names, right? Like it's one thing to know like
Kevin.
we don't really associate David Bautista or Dave Bautista with Davids we know, but we know Davids, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Or Daniels. There's lots of Daniels out there. So as I'm looking
There's a
at
bunch of
Daniel, as I'm looking at David, as I'm looking at Emily, I go into Google search and just type in their names. And I know at least the Google search on my phone is doing a thing now to where it actually gives you the actor or actress or just the person, whatever Daniel that is, and gives you just a quick blurb as to what their career is. All that to say, I've got something called the name game for you. And here's how it goes. And it might be an algorithm that's a little bit easier to navigate than that of IMDb. But here's what we're going to do. I'm going to give you 3 basic names. Today it's going to be based off of who we were just talking about in the news. I've actually said them all. David, Daniel, and Emily.
Yes.
Each of these names, I'm going to just simply type the name in the Google search. And then there's going to be several of these names and how important they are and how they've been searched recently show up in my search engine. And I'm only asking for those actors and actresses that are showing up first, within those first like 10 names, okay? And so I'm going to give you, all I need is 5, but I need 5 in a row.
Okay.
So I need you to be really confident as to if I'm searching Daniel, how many of those will come up. But here's the thing, I only need 5, and I'm giving you 3 different names. So you can say, we're going to go for 3 in Daniel. We're going to grab 2. We're going to grab 3 Daniels. We're going to grab 1 Dave. We're going to grab 1 Emily. Promise that these 5 names will show up for you.
Can we
Does that
bounce
make sense?
around?
I like it.
You can bounce around, yeah. You don't have to say from the start how many Daniels, how many Daves. You can just say, you know what, let's start with a Daniel. Feel really confident about this. And keep in mind, too, the Google search, majority of the algorithm for Google search is what are the most popular searched names or popular search things you're throwing into that search engine.
But see, you're going to throw it off because of how often you Google Dave Coulier.
This is
that's
different.
true.
I have gone in and cleared that. Like this is fully fresh for the
Close
sake
all
of the
those all those Dave Coulier tabs.
You got to
then-
get all this Dave.
How many
can't have
times?
those
How many
open.
times America is Googling Dave Coulier, or even Canada, perhaps?
Yeah, these are based off of trending.
Okay.
What's trending right now?
I guess
So how do y'all want to go with this? And here's one caveat. One caveat to the game is you do at least have to have one name in all three of these names. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
I
We
at
couldn't
least
just
need
go
a
5
Daniel,
Daniels.
a David, an Emily. And then from there you can go.
All right.
Okay, so with Daniel, is it just Daniels, or are there Dans in there as well?
I'm typing Daniel. I can tell
Okay.
you with some of the search, it's going to give me their full name. A lot of the times they can be known for their shortened version of it.
Okay.
I have
You know what
3
I'm saying?
Daniels for you right off the bat that I think will be close to the top.
Okay, I think if we miss one, we're just done. So
Right.
let's not think. Let's know.
Well, let's not lock it in yet. We can talk about it, right?
Yeah, you can absolutely
okay.
talk about
Okay.
it.
Dan
Y'all can
Levy.
discuss this stuff.
Dan Levy, Daniel Craig, and Daniel
Daniel Kaluuya.
Day-Lewis. Oh yeah, Daniel
He
Kaluuya.
just won an Oscar.
Yeah.
I actually forgot about Dan Levy. I was going to say Daniel Tiger. I bet he's close to the top 2.
This is- we're only using
lot of
actors and
kids.
actresses.
Yeah, my guess is Dan Levy. I mean, Schitt's Creek has been huge, so my guess is Dan Levy, Daniel Craig for obvious reasons, and
I think Daniel Kaluuya over D.Day Lewis.
okay.
Just because of the Oscar heat lately.
I mean, Emily Blunt. I don't know how often people are searching Emily Van Camp, but maybe after.
Maybe after Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm fresh out of Emily's. I don't know that many Emily's, I think.
I think there's some pretty
And
huge ones.
it'll be specifically Dave for when we do Bautista. We're searching Dave names,
Okay.
not David.
Dave. How many Daves do I know?
Lil Dicky's name is Dave because of his TV show. I do know that.
Yeah. Lil Davey.
Lil Dave.
Maybe we could count Lil Davey. Dave, I think if you type in Dave, you get.
How is Dave Coulier not one of the Daves?
I was just about to say, I'm really, really feeling a lot of heat around Uncle Joey.
Dave Spade.
Do you want to start locking some of these?
Dave Franco is 100%.
Oh, yep.
100% one of the Daves. In fact, I'm so confident about that. Dave Franco, I would be cool to lock in first.
Okay.
He just definitely is the most popular Dave, I feel like.
Do you think he's the
Besides-
Dave? The
He's
king
the
of
what?
the Daves? The Dave?
Him and
The template
Batista,
Dave?
I think are the
Okay.
two hottest heat Daves right now.
All right.
We're going to start with Batista since we definitely know he's...
Yeah. That
Oh,
works
wait,
too.
are we taking the example names off, Carter?
Oh, no, you're not.
Okay, Dave Batista's definitely coming up on Dave.
Yeah.
Let's lock that in.
Lock it in. Dave Bautista.
Bing, bing, bing. You're 1 for 1. Remember, we've got to have in succession. Like we've got to have
Yeah.
5 straight.
Yeah.
There are no strikes in the name game.
Let's go Emily Blunt next, right?
Lock it in.
Lock that in.
No.
Bing, 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 bing.
Yeah.
She was actually the number 1. So I'm sorry, I meant to read some of these. So we've got, and I'll just do by actresses that show up here.
We're not done. though.
wait. We're not done.
JK.
You can't do that. You can't do that to us.
Can't do that yet. Can't do that.
I'd rather
Still need at least 1 Daniel.
Do you want to lock in any Daniels off the bat?
Daniel Kaluuya feels like an easy
Yeah.
slam dunk to me.
I agree.
Let's lock in Daniel Kaluuya.
Let's lock it in. Let's get him in there.
Yeah, nice.
Bing, bing, bing. 3 for 3.
Yeah.
Bam, bam, bam.
I think Daniel Craig is highly likely.
Yeah, I think so, especially with Knives Out news right now.
And Bond being delayed till we find a good time to die.
Yeah, he's definitely in the top 10 Daniels for sure. So let's say
Yeah.
Daniel Craig.
Daniel Craig.
Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Bing, 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 bing. Just one more. One more of any of these names. And
I
you'll
feel like
have
Either
Ben, you
Dave
are
Franco
1 for
or
1.
Dan Levy are
a
solid
1 for
choices.
1.
Can I
on-
tell you the sweetest
game.
taste I can imagine?
Hmm.
If we finish this out with Dave Coulier and we get that right, that will be the proudest moment of my life. I've done lots of cool things, but that would be top.
That would be the coolest. I don't think there's any chance.
But the possibility is so delicious.
I would rather win than do that thing in cartoons where you swing at the ball and miss it and spin so fast that you dig a hole into the ground?
Yeah. Totally. Get it. But what if we could do both?
Can one of us win and one of us lose?
Nope, it's a team game.
All right. So you think Dave Franco is our best bet?
Either him or Dan Levy feels right. I mean, I just can't think that there's 10 Daves that are going to beat out Franco.
Yeah, I agree. I'm okay with Dave Franco.
All right, let's do Dave Franco.
Lock it in.
So close. Bong bong. Dave Franco was not.
How are there 10 Daves?
You have to tell me it's Dave
in that
Franco.
top list of Daves. And remember, this is just into a Google search. This isn't a Google movie search.
Did
all right?
How are there 9 Daves?
Because, sorry guys, number 1 was Dave and Buster's. So that's already taken a slot.
Wait, you said this was actors and actresses.
All you have to get are actors and actresses.
But we're not counting
I'm typing it into Google. I'm saying like 10 results come up, and I'm just typing it into a Google search.
Gotcha. So if there's only one Dave in that top 10, we have to say that Dave or we get no Daves?
Yes, and you were right. You got Dave Bautista. There was only one.
Only one Dave.
Only one American actor, Dave.
I guess I have misunderstood this game.
Well, at the very end you did. You were pretty good until you lost, and then you got mad about it.
Well, it's weird that you brought that up because what I didn't say is that I was bad at the game. What I did say was that I misunderstood the game.
Give me all the Daves.
Dave Chappelle, Dave Ramsey.
That was stupid of us.
Yeah, that was dumb of us.
Dave Bautista, Dave Portnoy, and then we had like Dave and Buster's near me. A lot of Dave and Buster's. Dave Grohl, and then Dave Navarro.
Yeah.
Your Emily's, we had Emily Blunt was actually number 1. Then we had Emily Van Camp.
Yep.
Then we had Emily Brown, who's an actress that I don't know very well. The model Emily Ratajkowski, Emily in Paris, the dramedy series. Dramedy? The drama, comedy drama. It is a dramedy. I did it right.
It's a dramedy, yeah.
And Emily Dickinson. And then for those Daniels, those sweet Daniels, there's so many of them. Y'all were great. Y'all named so many. So there was like Kaluuya, Daniel Radcliffe, Daniel Craig, Daniel Day-Lewis,
Daniel Elton John lyrics.
Daniel Elton John
Probably
lyrics.
one of the top ones.
Daniel Levy. So I will do a better job of, if we ever play the name game again, we will come back to it and I'll make sure that I explain the name game better. But no, we got really close.
You did a perfect job. It was all on me, Carter.
I really didn't think that would ever happen. To end this episode, I'm kidding. One more in the news, CDC, which is a big deal for movie theaters. CDC recently had come out and said that if people are fully vaccinated, they can not wear a mask. So they think that'll be a massive influence on
people sitting through a 2.5-hour movie.
People sitting through a 2.5-hour movie. Now, again, there will be certain jurisdictions that different companies can have, just as we had seen here in Texas as Texas boys, because that was kind of lifted for our state a long time ago. There are still businesses that can decide to say, masks? What are them's? There are still businesses that can decide to say, hey, I know that's the rule around here, but this rule on this private property is you always have to wear a mask, regardless. Movie theaters are going to be probably one of the first businesses that are going to open up quickly and fully. And so in that, as we prepare to do that, there's a lot of things that we look forward to in getting back to the movie theater. I know there's something too what is it at the end when all the names?
Credits?
Like at the very end of the movie?
Credits?
Yes.
No.
Speaking of.
Yeah.
No.
He's going to do
end this episode.
No.
We're going to play extra credit. We're going to play extra credit with our wonderful movie tomorrow called How to Train Your Dragon.
Are you serious?
I love playing extra credit. I'm the only one, and it makes sense. I don't necessarily love it for y'all, but I do love it.
It feels like we just played a game, and the game was like, hey, I gathered up all the mail you threw in the trash for the last 6 weeks, and I'm just going to stick my hand in it, and you tell me what color the envelope is. And then
that's true.
and then I'm like, white, and you're like, oh, sorry. I also grabbed all your neighbors' mail. I forgot to tell you, and they only get green mail, so it's all green. And then it's like, oh, okay. And then now you're telling me your dog died and we're going to play a game about it, is essentially what you've just done.
It's basically what it is. How did
You
write
tricked
this
us
soliloquy
into
for your
it.
dog?
You tricked us into it by
Y'all did
pretending
it.
you
Y'all
forgot
did
what
it more than I
credits
did
are
it.
called.
And
that-
I
that
straight up
sucked.
fell for it, hook, line, and sinker
I did too.
I was
I
like,
did
this
too, completely.
idiot can't remember what credits are called.
Adam, one of my favorite things about this now is we're all on a Zoom call, and Adam, the wizard himself, the sound wizard, always pulls out his phone when I say extra credit because there's something about, and it's evil, but there's something about having the power of just knowing and not having to guess. So here's some
in
names
these
that we
early
have.
recordings. It's the first sign of life we get from Adam in that top corner as well too. You
Yes.
say extra credit, and Adam's like, "Finally, I win."
Jellyman lives.
Jellyman lives. How to Train Your Dragon. So we had Jay, and I can't pronounce his name, but he's usable here.
Baruchel.
But he's not one of the reasons I picked this. Baruchel. Gerard Butler, which by the way, he's got a end of world like movie that just came out on HBO Max called Greenland.
Okay.
Y'all, it's actually really good. It gives me Children of Men vibes.
All right. Cool.
But it's totally worth a watch. It's good for even like a semi background. You know,
Is
you
it
can be
as
working
good
at home
as
and have it going.
300 with him in it though?
Oh,
That's my
nothing is
favorite
as
movie.
good. Nothing is as good as 300 with him in it. We have Christopher Mintz-Plasse. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Yeah, I think so.
We have Craig Ferguson,
Craig.
America Ferrera. But here's maybe where it might be a little bit easier for extra credit. Not that there is any kind of definition of easy and extra credit, but Jonah Hill, T.J. Miller, Kristen Wiig
Sure.
are also some
right.
other names.
Yep.
If you wanted to even pick up David Tennant, you're welcome to do that.
He's uncredited technically, but I'll take it.
Yeah, IMDb credits him. But
do
yeah, I
they?
saw him on IMDb yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think he's credited in the actual credits of the movie. I think I was reading that.
Who does he play in this?
He's just
Spite Lout.
and
just like
he,
one of the
he
random
actually
Vikings.
comes back later as somebody else, I believe.
Just a
That's so
rando
funny.
Viking, huh?
Well, I think he plays a pretty big role. I think he's a villain in a later.
I don't
one of
remember.
the other two
I've seen the
movies.
second one, but not the third one. But
I can't
boy,
talk about these movies yet.
boy,
I
this
know
is-
it's tough.
This is going to be a time, huh?
Jay Baruchel, Gerard Butler, Christopher Mintz, Craig Ferguson.
Craig's Ferguson. There's
America
more-
there's
Ferrera,
multiple.
Jonah Hill, T.J. Miller,
it's like attorneys
Kristen Wiig.
general.
Craig's
Craig's
Ferguson.
What say ye? Where do you want to start, my friends? Actually, as they're pondering, if you haven't heard extra credit before, well, you're in for a treat. Extra credit deals with the anomaly that is the IMDb algorithm. So I'll name all these actors off for them. They get to pick 3 and try and pick those top 4 credits for each of those actors on IMDb's credits. Usually when you're searching IMDb for anybody in the movie business, it'll give them, if they have enough, what they are best known for, quote unquote, of a top 4 credits before they start listing everything else this person was in. They can get a total of 15 points, but they only need 9. An average of 3 credits for each actor. They get all 4, they get that extra credit.
How good do you think we could do on Jonah Hill?
I think we could take a pretty decent swing at
I was
Jonah
about
Hill.
to say, like everybody else, I've got like probably 2, 4. I mean, I think Gerard, we could probably get like most of his, but he's just been in a lot.
I don't know. Besides The Bounty Hunter with Jennifer Aniston, I can't think of another movie he's ever done.
Well, this one, so we got 2 for him.
Yeah, let's start with Jonah maybe.
Yeah, I think Superbad's
Superbad is for
on
sure
there.
up there. I think
There's gonna be some jump streets, probably.
maybe. I think we're probably looking more at like Wolf of Wall Street, Moneyball,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff from him.
Honestly, Superbad, Wolf of Wall Street, Moneyball, 21 Jump Street feels like a really solid top 4.
It does, but I'm wondering
Jonah?
if late 90s
Oh yeah,
he
maybe.
directed it. But I don't know if it was big enough.
No, I really feel like it's gonna be acting credits for him.
Let's start with definitely Superbad, I feel like.
Yeah, Superbad. Lock it in.
Lock it in. He hates
Bong bong.
He loves doing this to us.
Are you kidding? Are you serious?
Bong bong, not to discourage you, but it's discouraging. Bong bong. That's wild to me too.
Because when people hear the name Jonah Hill, they're like, "Oh, that's not the guy from Superbad. He's from other stuff." Don't even talk to me about Superbad when you're talking about Jonah Hill.
The Wolf of Wall Street, lock it in.
Yep, lock it in.
Bing, 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 bing. Number 3.
Number 3?
What? He's in Megamind as well.
I want you to look me through the camera on the computer and tell me that you think Megamind is there, but not super bad.
I'm shrugging. I know you can't hear that on the podcast. I'm shrugging.
I heard it.
Kind of like a.
I heard it. I say Moneyball for me.
Yeah, lock it in. Moneyball.
Lock it in.
Bing, 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 bing. Number 4.
21 Jump Street. Lock it in.
Yep.
Bing, 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 bing. Number 1. So you got 3 of 4.
Is number 22
Jump Street?
Yep.
That sucks.
21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street.
I like both of
Wolf
those
of Wall
movies.
Street and Moneyball. That's 3. I know it feels discouraging.
Yeah,
because of the
it's
super
good,
bad,
we still
the super
did
bad
good.
stab. But you got 3. You're on your way. What we have left are Gerard Butler, Christopher Mintz, Craig Ferguson, America Herrera, T.J. Miller, Kristen Wiig, America Ferrera. Sorry, not Herrera. David Tennant.
I would say Kristen Wiig.
Yeah.
America Ferrera. I got Ugly Betty. Is she Bring It On?
Yeah. Ugly Betty, Bring It On, Superstore, and then maybe this. I don't know.
Is she in Bring It On?
One of them. One of the dancing ones.
Wait, is
I
she
don't
in
know.
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants?
I honestly could not tell you.
Okay, let's do.
And that's not because I don't know. I'm actually forbidden. I signed an NDA.
Let's do Kristen Wiig. Let's do Kristen Wiig.
Yep. Bridesmaids.
Bridesmaids. Lock it in. It's definitely
Lock it in.
Bridesmaids.
Bing, 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 bing. Number 1.
Do you think SNL, just SNL, is in her top?
Could be. Let's flesh it out a little bit. I think we could also be looking at some voice acting work.
Like
there's
a Despicable Me
there's
2
two
type
Despicable
situation?
Me's. Yeah. We could get Barb and Star, maybe.
I don't think that's going to be
I
up
would
there.
be shocked. It's pretty new.
It's also very funny, but I don't think that's going to be up there. I think
I'm comfortable giving SNL
it feels like it,
a
right?
try.
It
It's
feels
gotta
like
be,
it.
right?
She's like a legend.
Yeah. SNL. Lock it in.
Yeah, let's talk in SNL.
Bong bong. I would have thought the same. I would have
Of
said
course.
You want to do Despicable Me 2?
Yep. Lock it in.
Despicable Me 2, lock it in.
that. Bong bong.
Okay, so it's definitely not the Skeleton Twins with her and Bill Hader.
What if though? Now that you said that, I think they just changed her listing, and that's in it now. That's her number 1.
Let's
watched it.
see.
What else has she been in? Why can't I think of any?
Yeah,
he's gonna say them, and I'm gonna be like,
I'm having
oh,
a really
you
hard
idiot.
time thinking of any Kristen Wiig movies out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Especially
The
ones
Martian.
where she's big enough to.
The Martian.
Who is she in The Martian?
She's the journalist. That was like her first big post SNL role.
Oh, you know
If
what?
I remember correctly.
The
I think
Martian
The Martian
might
might
actually
be in there.
Let's do
You
The
wanna lock it
Martian.
in?
Yeah.
The Martian. Lock it in.
Bong bong, but that's a great guess.
Yeah.
That was her first dramatic
How
role,
are we
too.
whiffing 3 for 4 on
You still
Kristen
have a
Wiig?
chance to win the game. You have to get whoever is next perfect. But number 1 was Bridesmaids. Bridesmaids? All my plurals are all over the place. Bridesmaids. Number 2, The Skeleton Twins.
Get absolutely out of here.
Number 3, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Number 4, this one's stupid. Zoolander 2.
What?
She plays like a villain role in that. But that was number 4. That one's really tough. I also
The
would
Skeleton Twins.
I
have
probably would
defeated
have
me.
guessed Wonder Woman because of her role as
Oh yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen it, but yeah, you're right.
the cheetah.
I didn't
good.
even think of it.
Good thing we haven't seen it. Didn't think to guess it.
Yep.
Who do we need to get perfectly? Let's get somebody perfectly, guys. We got Gerard Butler. We got America
Win this
Ferrera.
with America Ferrera?
Dude, we've got
there is no
T.J.
way.
Miller,
Why not?
David Tennant.
Yeah, let's get America Ferrera in there.
Let's try it. Why not?
Let's give it a
deserves
shot.
She deserves it. I think she does a great job.
Ugly Betty, lock it in.
Definitely Ugly Betty, lock it in.
Gotta
for
be Ugly
sure.
Betty.
Bing, bing, bing. Number 3.
Yeah, 3. Sorry, Scooby. Get out of here.
Sorry, Scooby.
I think Superstore could really be up there.
Yeah, listen. I really feel like she's in Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Okay. Do we want to guess that now? And if it's wrong, know we're gonna lose to take the pressure off?
We can go Superstore if it.
Well, because there's other stuff there. There's other stuff that we know she's in. But if Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants is gonna be one of our guesses, let's do it now so that I don't have to wonder if we're gonna win this any longer.
Take a beat, but let's maybe hit Superstore. I mean, she's like one of the stars of a long running sitcom.
Yeah.
Let's hit Superstore.
Okay. Superstore.
Superstore. Lock it in.
Bong bong.
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Lock it in.
Lock it in.
Bing, bing, bing. Number 1 credit.
Dude,
So
I could feel it in my bones.
That was 6 points. You can still get 8.
Which
points.
of the dance?
No,
which of the
we
dance
cannot.
ones?
We can only get 7
get
points.
7.
We have one guess left.
Oh, you're right. My bad. You can only get 7.
Got to bring it up. What's
I mean,
the
she could be one of these How to Train Your Dragons. She's in all 3 of them and the TV show.
I don't know. My America senses are failing me. And also don't know what movies America Ferrera's been in.
Yeah, I'm struggling on which dance movie. I have vivid memories of her doing, I think it's cheerleading or dancing or something.
What are some names of them? Because I remember Jess telling me about. I have never seen them. I generally feel like I'm a pretty artistic person. I don't understand dancing, and good dancing, bad dancing all look the same to me, and I know that's not good.
Yeah, so like there's Bring It On movies, but I don't think she's in that.
Is there one called Gotta Pump It Up?
There is a Disney Channel movie called Gotta Kick It Up that's about a high school cheerleading
That's
squad.
what I
Oh,
was
you were
thinking
being
of.
serious.
No, there's a Disney Channel original movie called
was
Gotta
like,
Kick It
what?
Up. And I think she
Okay.
might be in that one.
There's one with Pump in the name? Is there one called Pump It Up?
No, you're thinking of Gotta Kick It Up.
I'm thinking I've got to kick it up.
Si se puede. That's their whole thing. That's their like big chant at the end.
I feel like she's in that.
I feel like she definitely is. I think that's the dancing movie I've been thinking of.
Let's lock it in. Let's lock it in.
It's
What have we got to
definitely
lose?
not in her top 4 because Carter didn't even know it existed just now. Carter thought we were making up a name as a joke. It's definitely
Oops, I
not
let
in
that
her
slip.
top 4.
I will tell you, Gotta Kick It Up was her second credit ever in 2002. Good job. That's wild that y'all got that.
Mm-hmm.
Winners in my book.
Thanks, man. Let's lock in How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
And that way it covers the movie and the TV show. So whatever it is, that's what we meant. Whatever one's in there, that's the one we meant. How to Train Your Dragon. Lock it in. Actually, I think the show has a different name.
HTTYD.
I didn't hear a lock it in from Doug.
Lock it in.
Bing, 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 bing. The number 2 credit. Number 1. You got 3 of 4 America Ferrera.
That's actually we did
pretty
number
good.
inversely good on America Ferrera as we did on Kristen Wiig.
Number 1, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Plants. Completely different movie. Number 2, How to Train Your Dragon. Number 3, Ugly Betty. Number 4, How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Oh, nice.
So that was extra credit to end this episode. I would love to have your name. And
And to keep it, it's your name now.
congrats.
Some real Rumpelstiltskin
Now it's my
energy
name.
there.
I'd love to have your name, and I want you to also tell me. So Ryan Johnson tends to do things differently in his movie making in general, and he's outside of the polarizing role that he had in the Star Wars universe. He's usually credited pretty well for doing new things, different things. Here's what's wild: the next casting we're going to get is who will be playing a murder weapon in Knives Out.
Cool.
Yeah.
In whatever this sequel is. I'd love to have you go ahead and tell me. I know y'all are in on that news. Tell me who's playing what murder weapon.
Who's playing the murder weapon?
Carter. And we're going to have Tilda Swinton as a candlestick in the new Knives Out movie.
Colonel Mustard, yeah.
It's going to be very interesting.
Ooh. I'm Doge, and it's going to be Frank Welker of Disney cartoon animal fame. And he's playing Scooby-Doo, and Scooby did it this time. He
He's
finally
the weapon.
snapped. Scooby's a living weapon. Because we all know he's descended from Pharaoh's dog.
Yeah,
or
came back
something.
from Hades. The power of hell.
Scooby the Hellhound strikes again.
I'm Jordan, and friend of the podcast, maybe second only to Vin at this point, just based on how much we talk about this gentleman, but it's Timmy Chalamet with that sharp chin. Just going to go ahead and swing him around like a sword and chop some people up.
The face like a garden spade.
So yeah, that's the murder.
That's actually what the movie's called. Knives Out 2,
That's the murder.
And it's got Daniel Craig on the front shrugging.
It's just that thing where it's like
Scooby's
the
behind
parentheses
him.
and all the different slashes. It just looks like shrug. Oh well.